My name is Ethan Stearns. I'm the executive producer on Groundhog Day and the head of content for MWM Interactive.
So what are you folks showing here at PAX West 2019?
So we're showing a small piece of our game Groundhog Day on PlayStation VR. A couple of the small mini games that you would play throughout the longer experience of the game. We think that they're kind of like a fun thing to demo here at the show.
You know, I think it's really tough because, we were talking about it before I jumped in. This is going to be a kind of a semi-narrative game.
Right.
To show that on a show floor is really difficult, right?
Yeah, so the idea for the game, the main meat of this game is a narrative. We actually have, we wrote a 450-page script for this game, worked with some writers from Telltale, some writers from like Rick and Morty and The Simpsons to like get a great sense of humor to the game, as well as keeping a sense of a narrative structure that would work for this looping time mechanic. But it didn't really make sense to show that long, those 30-minute playthroughs here on the show floor, and it's kind of hard to get a taste for it.
So is the game loop going to be about like 30 minutes, like the average day in Groundhog Day? Like, do you know, like, have you guys figured that out yet?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's different. It's a little bit different per day to day, depending on things that you may have chosen to do. But we were thinking, we kind of designed out each day to feel like it could be a game session. Most people like to play a VR title for somewhere between like 15 and 30 minutes. So we thought it'd be a good chunk of time to spend, in the game world. And once your day resets, you can kind of think about it, think of what you want to do the next time you go through.
So today I played that coffee game. That's a very intense puzzle game. Like, what were you guys looking at for inspiration when you designed that puzzler?
That would be a great question for Tequila Works. I'll tell you, my side of the story was that we have. So basically there are narrative paths in the game which the players needs to sort of learn a key skill that allows them to then move on through problems that are happening in his day. So in this particular case, he needs to learn how to fix a coffee machine. And so he runs through this whole narrative puzzle to get to a point where the waitress at the Tip Top Cafe it tells him he needs to become very zen and become one with the coffee, and that's about the extent of it. And then that I knew, and then Tequila Works, the amazing developer we worked with, came back with this crazy 3D puzzle game, which was, when we originally saw it in Gray Box, was still like tons of fun and interesting. So it's just gotten better and better, and it's very weird, but that's kind of the spirit of our game. It's kind of weird and quirky.
I think the actual original movie and the storyline kind of lends to being kooky and weird and having this like bizarre things that you could get really good at. I remember like Phil got really good at piano. Are there going to be anything like that where the character gets better through the playthroughs?
Yeah, that's total. That part of the movie was really an inspiration for kind of skills that the player learns through the progression of the game. So you were playing this sort of pinnacle moment of learning how to work the coffee machine. So then the next time you go through, those are skills that you are a master at. And so there will be several other versions of that throughout the game. But that was very much an inspiration for something we built into the game.
And another thing that was really, Groundhog Day was a love story. Is there going to be like a kind of love interest in this game, or have you guys thought of that?
Yeah, well, I mean, the game ships on September 17th, so we've definitely thought the things through. Yes, there is. There is a love interest scenario in the game. We kind of are playing with that idea in more of a modern sense.
Yes, sir.
So I don't want to ruin too much about it, but yeah, there's definitely. You have an old girlfriend that still lives in the town of Punxsutawney when you come back and you see her, Sarah, and so there's a whole side quest of the day that revolves around figuring out what happened with her and what you messed up when you were dating back in the day. So yeah, we definitely touch on that idea.
So how many days have you played through?
Oh my gosh, for like a year. I'll tell you, it's difficult to extrapolate the different paths through a game like this and be able to sort of think about game flow. So, playing through the first 15, 20 minutes of the game, it's fairly simple. It goes from this part to this part to that part. But once it starts branching into different narrative paths, it was difficult throughout production to really track how those all interconnected. So the team at Tequila Works did an amazing job of making sure that flowed really well.
So one thing that's really important in VR is replayability. It sounds like with these branching paths, you guys are going to kind of give people different playthroughs in the game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think that our goal is for a player to kind of like get a bit lost in the center of the narrative and identify different ways that they couldn't go. And I think after the 6 to 8 hours of playing through and getting to the finale, people may go back and try to take other paths along the way. But I think we're really interested in telling this one story that you as a player are going through and discovering things about, but also playing this role of Phil Jr.
So is Bill Murray going to be making a cameo at all?
Bill Murray's not in the game, but there are maybe some secrets and things in the game that are reference to his character, yeah.
Awesome. And when does the game come out? Which VR platforms can we look forward to playing this on?
So the game comes out September 17th on PlayStation VR, Oculus, and HTC Vive, so you can buy it on Steam, Oculus, and PlayStation Store, and it's $29.99.